Good to have you back. My name's Lloyd. Today we're taking a look at a chord melody for White Christmas. I found this chart here. It's a nice chart in the key of C. We'll learn some new chord forms. It's a nice, simple arrangement. You always keep the melody on top, right? And so I'm not playing the melody down here because it's just too dark down there and I don't have notes below that, right? So we take it up an octave. D minor, back to C major 7, and then let's just take that much of it. D minor, and then let's do this. I like those chord sounds. These are, this is a 13 chord. This is an F sharp 13 with my 7th in the lowest voice. You know, we could do that, but this is just sort of more complex and interesting, right? So let's take it from the top. Thirteen, and then here F. There's my melody on top, and then a 9 up here. We can do this. That diminished chord, G7. I'm using an augmented there. And this is a 6/9 chord, super handy chord to have underneath your mitts. When I say it's a 6/9 chord, underneath I picture a C major scale. And so in the C major scale, I would have the 3, I would have the 6, I would have the 9, and I would have the 5. Quick change and really an effective chord. Then they're suggesting a G11. That's pretty. But there's lots of things that you can put in the dominant position. I could put an augmented. I think I'm going to put that augmented in there. And there it is, right? Spelling for this augmented. Here's my root down here, right? Which I'm not playing in this case. And then my 7, my 3, my raised 5, and I've got the root on top. Okay, so let's take it back to the beginning, because the point of this is for you to be able to play it, right? For you to start and stop the video and figure out the chords that I'm using. You've already got that melody planted in your head, so this is just a really great way of learning a chord melody solo style. Here's the 13, F major. Or the 6/9, and then the augmented. And now I'm just going to create a little line here, just for interest's sake, so it's not always so big and fat. So what's happening here is I'm taking the C triad, keeping the melody on the top, and then dropping down to the major 7, and then dropping down to the 7. So it gives us this little line. And then I'll repeat that. Okay, so there I did F major 7, F minor, minor 7, triads, and then the D. How about another augmented? Okay, let's take it from the beginning again. And we've pretty much got most of the tune happening already. But I think why don't we add an intro? So I'll take it down from the 3. I'm calling this a 3 because here's my 1 chord in the key of C, my 2 chord in the key of C, my 3 chord in the key of C. Major 7. Let's do the 11. That works. So does that. As you can see, we've got the same thing happening again, right? Augmented. There's that 6/9 again, except this time I'm using it in the F position. And then we have that nice 4 minor. That's a nice chord, A7 with a flat 9. There's my flat 9 in the lowest voice. It's a little bit bitier that way. So I'm going to take another pass through it because, as I said, the point of this for me is to find someone out there who's going to take the time to put this together and actually play a guitar solo, because they can be lovely, can't they? Okay, so yeah, okay. Again, we'll do an intro. This time I'll do a different intro. I'll use a minor 7 flat 5. There's those 13s, F major 7. I could do. There's lots of different ways to do it. Now you can also put fills in there, right? Because most of this is in the key of C. And you don't have to get fancy with the fills, though. Maybe just try to connect the chords. I'm not going to do a lot of that right now because you've already been given a big chunk of stuff to do. That's just a chromatic fill, and it works. There's not enough room to do any fills here. Yeah, there is. Right, when you see something like a whole note, that gives you some room, to do a little fill. Not a lot of room here. You can use double stops. See, I'm using thirds there, and I've always got this major scale underneath my fingers. Well, what did we do? You get the idea. Play with it. That'll give you, I think, a good start. I've done a couple more Christmas songs in the last few days. So if you want a Christmas repertoire, and if you want to start getting a grip on how to play in a solo melody style, in a chord melody style, then I would suggest checking those out. And I don't care if you're playing a classical guitar or an ES335 or a steel string acoustic, it's all going to sound good. This isn't really necessarily a jazz style. It's just a pretty song, and with some nice chords. Just to finish off here, analysis is really straightforward. It's just a one chord. We're in the key of C. Two chord back to the one chord. Passing. This should really be a seventh that written here, and back to the one, then the two, and then a chromatic movement, just like the melody moves. Right, the chords move. And the duration is so short, it's just chromatic. That's fine. 4 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord, 1 chord, secondary dominant leading to the 4 chord, then we have the 4 minor. It's a good idea to take a tune like this before you dig into playing a solo, and just wander around the fretboard in that key using the chords that right. Just like this, and keeping the melody. The idea, right? That's a one practice thing to do is just connect the chords and work through it gently until you can start to hear the melody express itself out of the chord progression. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you got something out of that. I really love playing in this style, and there aren't. Back in the 50s, well, my first guitar teacher was a chord melody guy. He blew my mind. Like I was playing, rock licks. This is like so long ago, you'd be mind blown. I am. And my first guitar teacher, he could just take any tune out of his head and just play it in a chord melody style. Just bam, there it was. And it used to be a thing, right? Nowadays, the thing seems to be whoever can play the fastest wins. Okay, that's all for today, and thanks for stopping by, and hope to see you again real soon. See ya.